Hey, how's it
Hey,
going?
it's everybody.
Yeah, we got all three of us.
All right. Thanks so much for making time today, guys. Yeah, I assume y'all can see and hear me.
Yeah,
Yes,
all good.
absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
Hey,
having
if you all
us.
just paused and synced together, that was perfect. Um, Thank you guys for being here. So earlier this morning, just to refresh myself on what I'm about to do today, I went back and watched y'all's audition from America's Got Talent, which wow. I mean, I was right there with the judges. You see a lot of great singers on TV. I mean, I know you guys aren't gonna show up there and just be completely off key or anything, but the tightness of y'all's harmonies, there's so many little things that take it above. Oh yeah, y'all are good singers. There's so many little things that they kind of bring it together on the three of you, and I can't wait to get into the arrangements, the rehearsals, how this all came together. But first,
Thank
I
you.
have to talk about the the moment of just true, honest emotion that won my heart, and that, of course, was the look on Brendan's face when Heidi Klum mentioned the shower. Can you walk me through what was going through your mind when she asked that? I laughed so hard.
Uh,
Oh man.
Oh man, that's a good question. I remember just being very confused with what she was saying. Yeah, I mean, the reality is that's like those moments are so real, and you don't even realize when you're up there that like anything could be blown into the edit. Like any sort of moment that you're up there could make the cut.
Yeah.
So of course, like so many things happen in the audition, and of course that was the one moment that they were like, let's put this in the audition, in the clip, because we were up there for I feel like it felt like 10 years we were up there.
Yeah, it probably was about a 15-minute experience that got chopped down to the 4 or 5 that got released.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just one of the amazing moments we had on stage. Just so funny. Oh my
I don't think
gosh.
I'd considered that yeah, these stories get built in the edit a little bit, and that yeah,
Yeah.
you might have been watching it going, oh God, that's what they landed on. Oh man.
Literally. We have an actual video of us watching the
Watching,
audition,
yeah.
and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? They used that bit?" So funny.
It's
Yeah.
perfect. It honestly, they made a great choice. It's so real
Yeah.
and warmed me up to you guys immediately. You had said on the audition that y'all had been practicing in staircases, and I know you all three are musicians. You all three are touring singers in various stage shows. Can you talk a little bit about not just getting together to sing, but was there a moment when you realized that our voices blend particularly well, or that we feed off little things particularly well off each other?
sure. Yeah, we all did a cappella in college and high school and stuff. And we all were in this professional a cappella group in the summers in college called the Hyannis Sound on Cape Cod. So that's how we all kind of knew of each other. We were never in the group at the same time, but the three of us were always kind of like the musical theater guy in the group when we were there. So if there was ever any theatrical song or anything they needed, it was one of us. So then when we all got to New York after that, and then when Brendan graduated college and got back to New York, he just knew everybody from Hyannis Sound in the city and was like, "Hey, theater guys from Hyannis Sound, Liam and Jim, you guys want to come sing a song with me?" And we were like, "Sure, yeah, why not?" So then we did, and we were like, "This sounds really, really good. We should put it on the internet." And then just randomly we put it up, and that video, the first one we did, got millions of views.
Yeah.
And we were like, "All right, I guess other people think this might sound good together too. So let's keep doing it."
Yeah, we kind of just kept doing. We thought we'll put out one video a week, just kind of see how long this goes, and that really did lead all the way to America's Got Talent, and we haven't stopped since then. So it's just been a very cool ride that we're still on, and we're loving every minute of it.
Yeah, and so beyond America's Got Talent, now you've got an EP coming out, two singles out. They're both on Spotify right now. Beyond just each of you having an amazing singing voice and each of you being able to hit the notes, I think someone in one of the YouTube comments pointed out that there's not like one high note guy or one, like you all three just knock it out of the park. But it's the vocal arrangement, I think that sets you a little bit above. There were moments like in your audition and other songs I've heard you do where I don't know enough of the music theory to talk about what you've done, but the type of chord shifts underneath and the tone of the song changes, the power available changes. Can you talk a little bit about picking arrangements, or do you guys do the arrangements? How does this come about so that you get the most power and the best sound out of you three?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not certain we could necessarily talk about the music theory behind it as well either. But the answer is we're just very lucky and very fortunate to have these types of ranges with three people. I don't know that happens very often. And when our arranging process is pretty simple. We are currently sitting in front of a keyboard that we have been sitting in front of for the last 3 years. When we pick a song, we just sit down and we try chords and we throw things at the wall and we see what sticks. And especially in a cover space, if we're covering a song, we have this philosophy that we always want to have the melody present, just the tune that an audience would be able to latch onto. But it is fun to get to throw in something new, something spicy, something interesting. Mm-hmm. So that might be some of the chords that you're talking about that we kind of try to change and do an interesting vibe. But that's all that it is. We sit down and we try to play something out ourselves and see what works and see what sticks, and then we end up with one of our arrangements that like you're talking about. So it's just been a really cool experience.
Now, was Dilly Dilly something that you got to write as a group, or did that come about in separate places? How did that song come together?
Yeah, I mean, Dilly Dilly is our first of 3 original songs that are on this EP. And so I brought in the chorus and the chord structure to Liam and Brendan, and we got to sit down and kind of flesh out the rest of it together. And it's just the fact that we can move into an original space while still keeping faith to our covers has mm-hmm. just been incredible. And so that's the first of 3, and it's what we came up with first. And we're excited about how it turned out.
I have no idea if this is actually connected to the song or not, but a few years ago got to interview the actor that played the Dilly Dilly King on the Bud Light commercials.
Yeah.
So it is very much connected to the song.
Hey.
The reason it even exists in the chorus, I am from Philadelphia, Liam is from Philadelphia. The year that marketing campaign blew up, mm-hmm. the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. And so that commercial was just all over the TV and just dilly dilly all the time. And it just kind of became almost like a little inside joke. And so that's kind of how it ended up in the chorus there. Obviously it rhymes with Philly and that helps as well. So it's just fun.
I was really hoping that was the story. That's so great. It cracked me up to get to interview him. He obviously is an actor that's done a bunch of other stuff and did not want to solely talk about a Bud Light campaign, but fame's fame.
Yeah.
In terms of you guys' social media fame, I know that's just been mind blowing how much that's taken over our world in the last 15 years. In terms of working that as a career move, what was that like getting into it? Did you guys have any idea what you were doing? Was you just throwing things at the wall? Any guidance on how you did that?
We definitely just fell into it. We all are actors in New York, theater actors. So when the pandemic hit, there was zero work for a few years at least. And we started just randomly singing together January of 2020.
Yeah, literally late January.
So we started doing this and then everything shut down. And then we had this thing that we had to do. We had a new video to put together every week. So this kind of became our full-time job immediately. And then as the theater and stuff came back, we've just had to be okay, we have to film a bunch of videos before Brendan goes on tour for a little bit, or we have to film it on Monday because Jim has off from his Broadway show, or Wednesday because I have off or whatever. So we're really just kind of, we fell into it being a full-time thing. And luckily as actors, the two things are not independent to one another. We're all fully doing the best with all industries at the same time.
Yeah, social media is a game that I feel like none of us truly understand. it's a wild world out there. So at a certain point, I feel like a lot of the time we're just kind of making content for us, and if people like it, that's cool. And if they don't, at least we like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll spend like a week putting together a really intense video with a really intense arrangement and really well edited, and it's super thought out, and it'll get like a couple hundred views. And then we'll put like a video out the next day, like 3-part harmonizing a video of someone yelling or something, and that gets millions of views.
Yeah.
You just never know what's gonna work and what doesn't. So we try to just do it for what we want to do, and hopefully other people like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume it's got to be fun for you. You quit doing it. What's been the most fun part of this journey so far of being T3? Any particular place you played or song you've gotten to do, or just best moment so far? I think you've got a visitor.
For me, I think it's just been being able to have this, because like it's kind of similar to what I was saying earlier, but as people in theater, our jobs are not forever. They're for a couple months here or like a week here. So we don't consistently have a job or a creative outlet or something to do that fulfills our your artistic drive or whatever. And we have this going at all times, which not only has been successful, but is also with like 2 of my best friends, and we have fun doing it. So it's like, just it's been a lifesaver in terms of not going crazy and not having anything to do or being stuck inside, and just the support is awesome.
In terms of adding instrumentation, when I heard not just your vocal arrangements, but the depth of the band behind you, can you talk a little bit about adding instruments to what y'all do? What that was like in terms of do you see it as a musical evolution? Do you see it as different from what you were doing? And then what was it like recording with the band?
Absolutely, yeah, it's a great question. I mean, we released an independent EP just before America's Got Talent, which was just the 3 of us singing a cappella in the way that we had from the stairwell. And so that was like a very unique experience there. Moving forward to this new EP that we're talking about, Option Up, like we had decided that we love singing a cappella. And when you see us live, we still sing a cappella in these shows, but we wanted to move into a new kind of space. Like when we performed on America's Got Talent, we had backing tracks with us there, and so it was definitely an interesting experience of how can we keep the sound that we've created, this 3-tenor tight harmony thing, while adding the depth of instruments to kind of have a fuller sound. And so that was the goal that we had when recording this EP, and we think it's gone well so far. A lot of these arrangements, when the EP comes out, you'll get to hear there are unique moments where maybe the band drops out and you just have the a cappella 3-part chord, because we want to remain faithful to that sound as well. And so it was a very interesting and unique challenge to create that, and I'm excited to see what people think of it.
For me growing up, my folks listened to a wide variety of classic rock, country, a bunch of different stuff, but I ended up getting super into early Beach Boys and Brian Wilson and harmony stuff. And then for years, I'd annoyed my friends with a band called Jellyfish that I just adored, that did really orchestral pop. As far as what mainstream music inspires you guys, are there bands that you love that you'd want people to listen to if they're also listening to T3?
Ooh, that's a fun question.
Sorry.
Brendan's letting the cat out. Another one of the great things about the 3 of us is that we all have pretty different musical tastes. We all generally like everything, and have that like musical theater background and fandom. But I grew up listening to pop punk and emo music, and that's kind of my whole MO. I still go to little pop punk shows and everything. So like I grew up listening to bands like, Green Day's the biggest umbrella band, but then my favorite band of all time is a band called The Early November, who is a smaller alternative emo band from New Jersey that's been my favorite band since I was 12. But because this group blew up, I'm now like Instagram friends with their drummer because their daughter loves our Disney songs and stuff. So it's like it's such a small world with our influence.
Yeah, honestly, the influences are very vast. Like Liam describing that, I'm a piano rock guy. Like Billy Joel is my idol. You know, Sarah Bareilles, Ben Folds types of sounds, and then Brendan has his influences as well.
Honestly, you mentioned the Beach Boys. I feel like that's like one of my biggest influences. Beach Boys, Beatles, like classic rock stuff was like what I grew up loving and obsessing over. So it's like we all have like our different kind of pockets of music that we obsess over. We all try to kind of bring our own sound to what T3 is doing. But yeah.
And talking about Sarah Bareilles and Green Day, and you guys have had the opportunity to work in specifically their songs on stage. I mean, that's got to be fantastic. When it came to picking like Carry On Wayward Son, that's such a great original song. You guys' arrangement of it really brings something a little faster and exciting to it. But I also kind of realized how much classic rock lends itself to an almost musical theater level of stage and drama. I mean, I don't know why I'm shocked by this. It's not like I haven't seen Stick. Like, you know, these things are musical theater. But can you talk a little bit about choosing your covers?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a very organic process. The very first song we put out, which was just supposed to be the one, was a Disney song. And then we thought, oh, well, if we're doing this again, how can we tie it together? Well, Idina Menzel sang that from Frozen 2. Idina Menzel is known for Wicked. Then we sang a Broadway song. After that, in the world, Billie Eilish had just won all those Grammys. So we sang a pop song, and then we stuck with that. So that kind of exists as our bedrock for how we pick music, Disney, Broadway, and pop in terms of covering things. And so that is kind of how we landed on the songs for the EP. The reason we're doing Carry On Wayward Son is it's one of our most successful pop covers that we released. Pop rock, obviously classic rock, the same thing, but like using that as an umbrella term, to be completely honest. And so people seem to like that one so much that we wanted to make sure it got a space on the album. Fun fact, it was actually the song that we were to sing on the quarterfinal of America's Got Talent. A few days before we ended up switching it, but we wanted to make sure that got to live on in a certain sense, and so that was so Disney, Broadway, and pop.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't sing anything close to any of the three of you, but I think anybody who's gone and done karaoke and butchered a song has felt how much of a good release singing can be. But there's a lot of times where you're just in a really bad mood, and whether it's a primal scream thing or what, singing can move that sometimes. Do the three of you do you have a favorite song that if just if left unattended in a crap mood, this one feels good to sing?
Ooh. Whoa. One that we do a lot is we do You Oughta Know by Alanis Morissette. And I kind of get to be the like screamer in it. Yeah. And I don't know if they've noticed, but I kind of go away. I go to a different place when I'm doing that, and it feels real good to just let it out.
I feel like yours is Faithfully, right?
Well, Faithfully is the song that I usually from by Journey is usually the song that I reach for at a karaoke bar. There's something just so big and operatic dramatic about it. So I love that one for sure. I definitely would use that as mine. What would you say?
Honestly, anything Queen, truly any Queen song, I feel like it's got that same like guttural, like scream, like dramatic, over the top vibe that I love. So I feel like I've sung like Don't Stop Me Now, Who Wants to Live Forever, like those like really epic ones. Yeah.
Well, thank you all three so much for talking to me today. Folks can, of course, go listen to a couple singles right now. You got Option Up coming out. You guys are on tour coming up pretty soon. Is that right?
That's right. Same day Option Up comes out, we launch our national tour here. So we're starting in St. Louis, Missouri on December 8th, and we're riding around in a van all over the country until December 18th. We close the tour in Boston, and you can find all of that information at T3official.com. We hope to see you out on the road. We're excited.
Super cool. And I assume that hat is for sale somewhere. Is that right?
Yes,
It actually
actually,
is,
this
yes,
is our T3 hat.
Sharp looking merch, guys. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. You sound fantastic. You're the nicest folks to talk to. I can't wait to see you just tear up the country. It's going to be great.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
so
much.
much.
So nice to meet you.
This
Thanks for
has been
having us.
And I don't know if I saw Austin on the date list, but if you make it this far south, I know it's like 6 hours into Texas before you get to us. But yeah, if you guys make it
We
down to
love-
Austin,
But that's
Yeah.
definitely
It's on the list,
a
hopefully. 'cause
list,
we
yeah.
love Austin.
I'm actually
Look.
going to be in Austin. I leave for Austin tomorrow. I'm going to be singing with a group down there called Conspirare.
no
They have-
kidding.
there's gonna be
Okay.
a show. Yeah, so at
No,
the
that's-
Lawn
that thing's
Center
fantastic.
on, December 4th, I'll be singing with them at the Lawn Center. So you should come see it.
That's great.
Pretty cool. I'll have to check that out. Count Ferrari is really great. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care now.
Have a good one.